Welcome to Clever Money, your favorite channel about AI and how to find potential startups for your first investing. I'm Izzy, here with Mike Patty, who has invested over $2 million and still on the road. Get comfy because today we're talking about AI agents.
Exactly. So if you hear us pausing, it's simply because making sure we're explaining ourselves. Before we dive in, Izzy, let me ask, when we say AI agents, what do we actually mean? How are they different from a virtual assistant like Siri or Alexa? And why is everyone suddenly fascinated by them?
Before we jump into the heavy stuff, let's just chat for a second about why this topic is popping. Have you ever had a moment where suddenly everyone is talking about something new? Like when Bitcoin was all you heard about, or when NFTs were the hot topic? That's what's happening with AI agents right now. People are typing those two words into Google like remarkable.
And what's wild is where those searches are coming from. It's mostly people in East Asia. China's got the highest interest score, like points on Google Trends. What about the West? They're not even in the top 10. That tells us this trend is being driven by a different part of the world. It's like when hip-hop first popped off in the Bronx. Folks in that scene were innovating while others hadn't caught up yet. Now, decades later, everyone knows hip-hop. That same pattern could happen with AI agents. It starts in one region, then goes global.
Facts. But the big reason it's so popular right now is because of something called Manus. Manus isn't just some fancy app, it's an AI agent from China. It isn't just a voice assistant like Siri or Alexa. This thing is a full-on agent that can handle a bunch of complex tasks for you without you micromanaging it. We're talking about ranking job candidates, scheduling meetings, finding the best apartment, and checking the crime rate. That's a huge leap from saying, "Hey Siri, what's the weather?" or "Alexa, play some Drake." It's doing work that would take humans hours.
And what makes Manus even crazier is that it uses subagents. Instead of one assistant trying to do everything, it breaks tasks into smaller jobs and assigns them to specialized mini-agents. Imagine you had a team of interns and you said, "You handle research, you handle scheduling, you handle negotiations," and they all report back. Manus does that automatically. And the wild part is you don't need to keep your computer running. Once it's set up, it's out there doing tasks. That's like having a mini staff working for you while you sleep.
Imagine if Manus could also figure out your dating life and help you pick a match. "Hey Manus, find me a partner who loves anime and doesn't mind my terrible cooking."
But seriously, the difference between an AI agent and an AI assistant is huge. Assistants like Siri or Google are basically like little help bots that wait for you to tell them what to do. You say, "Hey Siri, remind me to call mom," and it sets a reminder. That's it. With these new agents, you can say, "Plan a trip to New York for next month. Find me a flight under a hotel near Central Park with a gym, and schedule tourist spots." The agent goes out, looks up flights, compares prices, checks hotels, plans your itinerary, and comes back with a full plan. It does the research, decision-making, and execution. You just confirm or adjust.
That autonomy makes them feel almost alive, but remember, they're still just code. They're following algorithms, they're not conscious. They can't really want anything. But their ability to do complex tasks without constant human oversight is what scares some folks. Because if an agent can review resumes and rank job candidates, does that mean HR recruiters aren't needed? If an agent can plan and book trips, what happens to travel agents? These are the questions experts are asking.
That's why we wanted to break it down. We don't want people to panic. The history of technology shows that each wave of innovation disrupts some jobs and creates new ones. Think about the internet. At first, people feared it would wipe out all physical stores. And yes, some retail chains disappeared, but look at all the new jobs created in e-commerce, digital marketing, web design. Same thing with AI agents. There will be change, but there will also be opportunity.
Let's talk numbers. McKinsey looked at thousands of tasks and found that by up to % of hours worked in the US could be automated. That's a lot, but it's not percent. We're still needed. Forbes analysts say % of jobs could be fully automated and % could change significantly. That means 6 out of 10 jobs will be transformed rather than eliminated. So we're talking evolution, not extinction. Humans will shift to new roles while machines handle repetitive chores.
Another projection from Goldman Sachs suggested that generative AI could impact millions of full-time jobs worldwide. But the World Economic Forum balanced this out. Yes, million jobs might go away but million new roles will be created. You can just look at the jobs being lost. You have to look at the jobs being born. There will be new opportunities in fields we haven't even imagined yet.
Exactly. Now, McKinsey's research breaks it down by occupation. They predict declines in office support roles like administrative assistants, data entry, and basic bookkeeping. Customer service and food service could also see automation. But areas like healthcare, STEM, transportation, and the creative industries are expected to grow. So while some tasks vanish, new ones pop up. It's a shift in focus, not a collapse.
And this fits with what Forbes pointed out. They listed 10 careers likely to be replaced in the next 5 years. Data entry clerks, telemarketers, customer service reps, retail cashiers, proofreaders, paralegals, bookkeepers, fast food workers, warehouse workers, and entry-level market research analysts. Most of these involve repetitive or rule-based tasks that machines can learn, but Forbes didn't just list them to scare people. They also talked about how you can pivot if you're in these roles. For instance, data entry clerks could move into data analysis or project coordination. Telemarketers could learn digital marketing. Customer service reps might shift into technical support or community management. It's all about retooling.
Let's break some down. Data entry clerks enter information from one system into another. That's the definition of repetitive. AI can do that better and faster. So if that's your job, you might think about learning basic data visualization or spreadsheets. Telemarketers? AI can dial and speak now, but humans understand nuance and persuasion. Maybe shift into digital marketing, crafting campaigns, or building relationships with clients. Customer service reps? Chatbots can answer common questions, but complex issues still need human judgment. So become the escalation specialist, the person who solves the tricky problems.
What about proofreaders? Modern AI can spot grammar mistakes, but it still struggles with nuance, tone, and cultural context. So proofreaders might lean into content strategy, copywriting, or editing for voice and style. Paralegals. AI can search legal databases fast, but attorneys will still need people who understand strategy and human context. Maybe specialize in a specific area of law or become a legal tech consultant. Bookkeepers can move into advising on financial strategy, helping clients interpret AI-generated reports. Fast food workers could transition to restaurant management or learn to operate and maintain the robots that flip burgers. Warehouse workers might move into logistics coordination or quality control, roles where human oversight is key. Entry-level market research analysts can upgrade to marketing strategists who interpret data and predict consumer behavior.
In contrast, the jobs that are safe are those requiring empathy, creativity, physical dexterity, or high-level judgment. Doctors and nurses need to understand a patient's emotions, read subtle cues, and make complex decisions. Teachers build relationships and adapt to students' needs. Creative professionals like writers, designers, musicians create new things that aren't purely rule-based. Electricians and plumbers solve problems on the spot with their hands. Leaders develop vision, inspire teams, and assist with difficult ethical choices. It's not that artificial intelligence doesn't help in these areas, it does, but the bulk of the work remains with humans.
That's why learning soft skills is crucial. Communication, teamwork, empathy, critical thinking. AI can't replicate those easily. If you combine soft skills with basic technical knowledge, you become irreplaceable. And for our younger listeners, take this time to invest in yourself. Learn AI basics, yes, but also build people skills. You'll stand out.
Now let's switch to the fun part, new jobs. Forbes gave us a peek into the future with 7 AI-created roles. A prompt engineer writes clear, precise instructions that tell AI systems what to do. Sounds simple, but as models get more complex, good prompts can make or break their performance. A prompt engineer essentially translates human intent into machine-readable commands.
Then there's the AI ethics officer. This person ensures AI systems are fair, transparent, and compliant with laws. They check data sources for bias, test algorithms for discrimination, and set guidelines for responsible AI use. That job didn't exist 10 years ago, but now it's huge.
Next up, AI-assisted healthcare technicians. These are folks who operate diagnostic machines that use AI. Think AI that reads X-rays or MRI scans. These techs know how to interpret results, talk to patients, and help doctors make decisions.
Then we have the AI maintenance specialist. When robots break, someone's got to fix them. These specialists understand both mechanical and software systems. They keep AI systems running smoothly.
There's also the sustainable AI analyst. This role focuses on the environmental impact of AI. Training large language models uses tons of energy. These analysts look for ways to reduce carbon footprints and make AI greener.
The AI-enhanced creative director is someone who collaborates with AI tools to create art, ads, music, or films. They set the vision and use AI as a creative partner. They decide when to leverage AI for brainstorming and when to rely on human intuition.
And finally, the AI literacy educator teaches others how to use AI tools effectively. They train employees, students, or even seniors on how to interact with AI, check its outputs, and integrate it into their workflows. That's so cool. Imagine being paid to show people how to use AI chatbots.
To top it off, McKinsey's report says nearly every company plans to increase their investment in AI, yet only 1% consider themselves AI mature. That means there's a massive gap between ambition and execution. Employees are often more ready to adopt AI than leaders think. People see these tools as a way to get work done faster. Leaders just need to catch up and provide training.
Speaking of training, the World Economic Forum says that half of all workers will need reskilling by. The new roles aren't just in tech. Care, engineering, cloud, and product development will grow. This means we need programs that help people transition. Community colleges, online courses, boot camps will be part of the solution. In fact, some of those new jobs could be in designing and running these learning programs.
As two guys who care about financial independence and the future, we find this intersection of AI and investing both thrilling and a bit daunting. We want to make sure we're not just chasing returns, but also making choices we believe in. When we talk about the investment angle, we're coming from a place of curiosity and caution.
Right. Our aim isn't to hype you up or sell you anything. We want to share what we see, encourage you to do your own thinking, and help you decide how this fits with your goals. You know, staying true to yourself matters more than following any trend. Now let's go deeper into the investment conversation. We touched on it earlier, but let's flesh it out. When people think invest in AI, they might imagine buying stock in OpenAI or something. But investing in AI is more about investing in the infrastructure and industries that power AI. Semiconductors are the brains behind AI models. Without powerful chips, those models can't train or run. So companies like NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel are key players. Their chips are used by cloud providers to run everything from ChatGPT to voice recognition. Then there's the cloud. Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform. These giants rent out computing resources. As AI demand grows, so does demand for cloud computing. That's why these companies invest billions in data centers full of servers and networking equipment. You might invest in them directly or through ETFs that include them, because they benefit from AI adoption across industries.
Robotics is another pillar. AI is not just software, it's also about robots that can navigate warehouses, assist with surgeries, deliver packages, or even mix cocktails. Companies like Boston Dynamics, ABB Robotics, and even Dyson are creating machines that blend AI with physical action. Investing in these companies or funds that include them could be a way to tap into the robotics boom.
Biotech is huge too. AI can analyze millions of molecules to predict which ones could become drugs. Traditional drug discovery takes 10 years and costs billions. AI can shorten timelines and reduce costs. Startups like in silico medicine and big pharma companies are all racing to integrate AI. Investing in biotech isn't new, but the AI edge could create big winners. Again, risks are high, drug development can fail, so diversification matters.
And we can't forget software. Software companies integrate AI into tools we use every day. Think of design software that suggests layouts, email apps that write replies, or customer relationship management platforms that predict which clients need attention. These companies may not be selling AI directly, but they're baking AI into their products. Investing in software giants or startups building specialized AI platforms is another angle.
There are also pure-play AI companies, but those can be risky. Some are still pre-profit and could be overvalued. That's why index funds and ETFs focused on AI can be a safer way to gain exposure. They include a basket of companies across chips, cloud, robotics, biotech, and software.
But we have to say it again. This is not financial advice. We are not licensed. We're just sharing what we're learning. If you're thinking about investing, do your own research, talk to a professional, and never bet more than you can afford to lose. The hype around AI can lead to bubbles, just like with crypto and dot-coms. So, be smart.
Now, aside from money, let's talk about the bigger ethical and social questions. AI can amplify biases if it's trained on biased data. That's why roles like AI ethics officers are so important. It's also why diverse teams are needed to build these systems. If only one group of people designs AI, it might not work for everyone. And there are privacy issues. These agents process huge amounts of personal data, sums, finances, health info. We need strong regulations to protect users.
There's also the question of control. If AI can make decisions, who is responsible when something goes wrong? If an AI agent ranks job candidates and someone feels discriminated against, who do they sue? The developer? The employer? The AI company? These questions are tricky and will need laws that catch up with technology.
Another social dimension is mental health. When your role changes or you're let go because of automation, it can be traumatic. People tie their identities to their jobs. We need support systems, counseling, retraining programs, social security nets. Governments and companies share this responsibility. We, as a community, need empathy and support for those going through transitions.
There's also a positive side. Imagine if AI agents take over the boring stuff. People might have more time for hobbies, everyonely, creativity, volunteering. Work weeks could shorten. Maybe a 4-day work week becomes normal. Society could shift from valuing hours worked to valuing output and creativity. That's exciting.
And for us investors, the ethical aspect matters. Companies that misuse AI or ignore ethical standards could face backlash, lawsuits, or regulation that hurts their value. Investing in companies with strong governance, transparency, and ethics could be safer in the long run. ESG, environmental, social, governance considerations apply to AI just like any other sector.
The bottom line? The AI revolution will be what we make it. If we demand fairness and ethics, invest in responsible players, and educate ourselves, we'll shape the future in a positive direction. It's not something happening to us, we're part of it.
Let's bring it back to you, the listener. Here's a practical to-do list. Learn. Take an online course on AI basics. There are free courses on Coursera, edX, and YouTube. Even a short class will demystify things. Analyze your field. Think about the tasks you do. Which are repetitive? Which require judgment or creativity? Start automating the easy stuff and build skills around the hard stuff. Get hands-on, play with free AI tools. Use chatbots to brainstorm, try AI-based coding assistants, explore AI-powered design tools. The more you use them, the better you understand their limits. Develop soft skills, work on communication, empathy, teamwork. Join clubs, volunteer, lead small projects. Soft skills compound over time. Consider investing. If you're interested in the financial side, read up on AIETFS, semiconductors, cloud companies, robotics, and biotech. Stay diversified. Always be cautious. Stay informed. The AI landscape changes quickly. Follow reputable news sources, join newsletters, listen to podcasts like this one.
And remember, there's no rush to have it all figured out today. We're on this journey together. This episode might be long, almost like a mini documentary, but we wanted to give you the full picture. We don't want you to only hear the scary headlines. We want you to know what's actually happening under the hood and where the opportunities lie.
All right, to wrap up, AI agents are rising because they can do complex tasks for you. Countries like China are leading the way. Manus is an example of an agent that uses sub-agents to handle tasks. The difference between agents and assistants is autonomy. Predictions from McKinsey and Forbes suggest significant changes in the workforce, but also opportunities for new roles. Jobs at risk include repetitive tasks. Jobs that are safe revolve around empathy, creativity, and dexterity. New jobs like prompt engineer and ethics officer will emerge. Investing in AI means looking at chips, cloud, robotics, biotech, and software. Ethical considerations and mental health matter. And above all, keep learning, keep growing, and keep human.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it to the end, you're a real one. We hope this gave you a deeper understanding and some actionable steps. Well, be here next time with more insights about the intersection of money and tech. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Let's build a community that supports each other through these changes.
Peace out, everyone, Ali. Until next time, stay sharp, stay kind, and keep chasing knowledge and those coins.
Hey Izzy, before we sign off, let's do a lightning round of community questions. We asked Yal on social media what you wanted to know, and boy, did you deliver. Let's pick a few and go deeper.
First up, someone asked, why is China leading the search trends for AI agents while the West is sleeping on it? Good question. It comes down to several factors. China has a massive population and a tech-savvy middle class. They adopt new apps quickly and aren't afraid to experiment. They also have a booming startup scene that moves fast. Plus, language plays a role. Many AI platforms built in the West don't support Chinese language as well, so local developers build their own, and local users search for them.
Also, government policy in China encourages AI investment. There's a national plan to become a leader in AI buy. That means there's money and support for companies like the one behind Manus. Meanwhile, in the West, regulations around data privacy can slow adoption. There's caution about letting AI handle sensitive info. That's not necessarily bad, it just means adoption might be slower. So don't assume the West is behind it, might just be taking a different approach.
Next question. Are AI agents just a fad like NFTs? Great question. NFTs were huge and then faded, but the underlying tech, blockchain, is still being used in new ways. AI agents are more than a trend. They solve real problems and have backing from big companies. Remember that AI assistants like Siri and Alexa have been around for years and are now part of daily life. AI agents are the next evolution. They may go through hype cycles, but the core capability autonomous task completion is here to stay.
Someone else asked, what's the difference between a chatbot and an AI agent? A chatbot is often scripted. It responds to specific keywords and doesn't plan beyond answering your question. An AI agent, on the other hand, can break down a complex goal into subtasks, plan, and execute. It has memory, goal setting, and decision-making abilities, albeit within its programmed boundaries. It can access multiple services, gather data, and synthesize information without you guiding each step.
Another question, how will AI agents affect creative fields like music or art? This is a fun one. AI tools can generate beats, design logos, or edit videos, but they often rely on patterns found in existing work. Human artists bring emotion, context, cultural understanding, and personal stories that AI can't replicate. AI may become a collaborator helping artists brainstorm or finish drafts, but the heart of creation will still be human. If anything, AI might democratize creativity by giving non-artists tools to express themselves. We may see more creativity, not less.
A big one. Do we really need to worry about being replaced by AI? The honest answer is, it depends. If your job is repetitive and doesn't require problem solving or emotional intelligence, You should think about how AI can help you be more efficient and then move up the value chain. But if you're adaptable and willing to learn, AI can make you more productive and open new opportunities. Think of it like a power tool. It can do the heavy lifting, you still guide the project.
Someone asked, what are some other new roles we might see? In addition to the 7 we mentioned, we could see things like AI psychologist professionals who help people adjust to working with AI data. Trust my co-hosters who manage personal data sharing, AI policy advisors who help governments regulate virtual world designers who build immersive AI-powered environments, algorithm explainers who translate complex models into plain language human-AI collaboration coaches who train teams to work with AI, and ethical dataset curators who make sure training data is diverse and fair. The point is, new roles will emerge wherever there's a need to bridge gaps between humans and machines.
Here's another interesting question. How accurate are those job loss predictions anyway? Predictions vary because they depend on assumptions about technology speed, adoption rates, regulation, and consumer behavior. McKinsey, Goldman Sachs, and Forbes use different models. Some focus on tasks rather than jobs. A job might involve 10 tasks if 5 can be automated. The job changes but isn't eliminated. Predictions that sound scary often look at worst cases. Reality tends to fall somewhere in the middle. The key takeaway is that some change is inevitable, so adaptability matters.
A few people asked about the ethics of letting AI rank job candidates. That's super important. AI can help remove human biases, but only if it's built and trained properly. If the data used to train the AI reflects past discrimination, the AI will reproduce that. That's why we need ethics officers and diverse teams working on these systems. Companies need transparency about how decisions are made and must be held accountable.
Another viewer wanted to know if AI agents could help small businesses. Absolutely. Imagine you're running a small online shop. An AI agent could handle customer emails, manage inventory, reorder supplies, update your marketing copy, and even adjust pricing based on demand. That leaves you free to design new products and connect with customers. The challenge is making these tools affordable and easy to use. As adoption grows, costs will likely come down.
Finally, someone asked, what's the most out there scenario you can think of for AI agents? Okay, wild scenario. Imagine AI agents acting as personalized life coaches. They wake you up, know your daily goals, plan your schedule, order groceries, monitor your health, and give pep talks. They coordinate with your doctor, your gym, your work calendar, and your friends' agents to plan social events. It sounds sci-fi, but pieces of that already exist. The key is making sure those agents respect privacy and values.
Y'all always come through with the deep questions. We love it. Remember, the future is up for grabs. AI agents are a tool, not destiny. How we design, deploy, and regulate them will determine whether they empower or exploit. Stay engaged, vote, speak up, and be part of the conversation.
One more thought before we go. Let's talk about global differences. We mentioned China's early adoption, but Europe and the US are also active. Europe is focusing heavily on AI regulation. They're drafting laws to ensure AI systems are transparent, safe, and respect fundamental rights. That could set a global standard. The US, on the other hand, is driven by private sector innovation and may not regulate as tightly. That could lead to faster development, but also more risks. The global dialogue is about balancing innovation with ethics.
And there's a digital divide. Some communities still lack access to reliable internet or computers. Without basic infrastructure, they can't benefit from AI tools. Policymakers need to bridge this gap, or else AI will deepen inequality. Investing in my co-host ad band, education, and training matters just as much as investing in AI companies.
Some folks asked about Universal Basic Income, UBI, as a response to automation. UBI would provide everyone with a baseline income regardless of employment. It's been tested in small pilots. Proponents say it could reduce poverty and cushion those displaced by automation. Critics worry about the cost and about disincentivizing work. It's a big debate that intersects with AI because if enough jobs disappear or change drastically, societies might need safety nets beyond unemployment benefits. You'll hear more about this as automation accelerates.
Others asked if AI could lead to a 4-day work week. Some companies are already testing shorter weeks using AI to maintain productivity. Imagine AI handling routine tasks so humans can focus on deep work. Studies show shorter weeks can boost employee happiness without hurting output. So yes, AI could indirectly support a shorter work week by improving efficiency. But again, it depends on industry and culture.
There was also a question about what kids should learn today to prepare. Kids should learn how to think critically and creatively. They should learn about computers and math, but also art, storytelling, and ethics. Encourage curiosity, problem solving, and collaboration. Let kids play with AI tools under supervision so they see them as helpers, not black boxes. Parents and teachers should emphasize that technology is a tool we shape, not something that controls us.
Another viewer asked, will we all need to code? Not necessarily. Coding is a powerful skill, but as AI improves, no-code and low-code tools will let you build applications without writing traditional code. It's more important to understand logic, algorithms, and how to communicate with machines. Coding fundamentals can help, but don't panic if you're not a coder.
We also got a question about AI and the environment. Training large AI models uses a lot of electricity and water. Data centers need cooling and power. That's why sustainable AI analysts are crucial. There's a push for renewable energy, efficient hardware, and smarter algorithms that use less energy. Consumers and investors can push companies to report their energy use and carbon footprint. We all need to be aware of the environmental impact of our digital lives.
One more before we close. How do I stay sane with all this tech? Great question. Disconnect sometimes. Go outside. Spend time with people offline. Read a book. Meditate. Use technology mindfully. Don't let push notifications run your life. Remember, you're in control. AI tools should free you up for the things that matter, not suck you in. Balance is everything.
That was our lightning round. Hope that gave you some extra insight. We appreciate your curiosity. Let's keep this conversation going.